Hey fisherman, Aqua Duelist here, and how could I not do an update to the legendary Ballpark deck? I mean, we got new support in Dawn Majesty, we got some Beetroopers, and Beetroopers are just like, they're awesome. They're just honestly kind of what insects really needed, and they're only going to get better as we get more and more support. Uh, Beetroopers in general just kind of fix a lot of the issues that I feel overall insects really kind of had. So yeah, I wanted to have this up like a week ago, but the vendor I ended up ordering buggy scouts from took like a week to ship them. So yeah, and I at least wanted to test them out and such for this deck. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into this deck profile, guys. I'm gonna try to be a bit more in depth with my choices and such. And if you guys aren't subscribed, don't forget to harpoon that subscribe button. Helps channel out. Because a lot of you who watch these videos aren't subscribed. So yeah, so starting off, 3 copies of Shiny Black Sea Squatter. This is just the best vanilla insect in the game for for Ballpark. I went back to playing 3 copies of Insect Knight. So in the last deck profile, I did show that I was playing. I think it's like Gorchin, or it's like Kuwager Gorchin or something like that. I can never pronounce its name. Reason why I was playing that was because it was the strongest vanilla wind insect monster, and just the whole wind barrier statue stuff has died down in my locals. So I went back to playing Insect Knight here to get that extra damage. Now, if you're not, if your locals is just heavy Tri Brigade and just heavy wind barrier statue shenanigans with them, don't play Insect Knights. I actually would recommend playing Kuwager Gochin. I could never pronounce the card's name. It's the strongest vanilla wind insect vanilla. You do also have was it Flying Kaminari 2 and then Killer Needle. They're a bit weaker, but those are your like 3 wind options. So yeah, just throwing that out there for people who have that situation. So that's it for the vanillas. Now for the other bugs, playing 3 copies of Resonant Insect, and oh man, this card is still just the best card in the deck, especially since now with Beetroopers. It's more abusable, a bit more loopable. You have a much easier time if you don't open this card and actually, trying to use Insector Pyco Flame's effect to basically equip it from deck. You have a lot of an easier time doing it now. So just the fact that it's not once per turn on either effect when it leaves the field or gets banished, pretty stupid. So this card is just it's just the best card, and it's gotten better. Beetroopers really help push to abuse this, and I love it. So now playing 3 copies of Gokipole. I still say Gokipole is like the second best card of the deck, even with Beetroopers out and such. Just because that just being able to just pop and summon a vanilla is really nice. It just helps with the board clearing and such. And if you don't want to grab vanilla, you can grab one of your level 4 insects. So you can essentially grab Resonant Insect, which is nice. So yeah, it's cool. It's kind of like playing, more copies of Resonant Insect in a sense. And, it's monster removal, so it's pretty solid. Now, Beetroopers, okay. So first off, I'm playing 3 copies of Beetrooper Scale Bomber. Now, I'm going to talk about Buggy Scout here in a minute, but I want to talk about this. So, I ended up dropping the Mothmans for this. The reason why I decided to drop Mothmans in particular was, even though Mothman is a level 4 and it does provide some kind of draw power to the deck in a sense, as a little mini draw engine, and being an extender, overall, my whole time playing this deck, Mothman has been kind of risky. but that being, I felt like the best way I can say is every time I played Mothman, I felt like it was just a Joey moment. If you ever watched the original anime, Joey doing like shenanigans stuff. Time Wizard, there's like a time where he lost using Time Wizard's effect and all, like losing his monsters and junk. But Joey's just been kind of like that underdog kind of underdog in the original Yu-Gi-Oh, and like he took risks, and that's how I felt with Danger Mothman. I mean, it's either it didn't get hit, and it was a Dark World dealings, or I'm sorry, it didn't get hit and it summoned and I got to draw a card, or it got hit and I essentially had to do a Dark World dealings kind of thing. Um, there's been a lot of games where I've lost because of Danger Mothman, where I essentially bait out opponents' negates and just try to Utopia double for game. And like I said, there's times where I lost because my Danger Mothman was hit in hand, with the effect. So it's cost me games, it has won me games, but when you come down to deck building, you gotta play the cards that are most optimal to give you that win rate. And I felt Danger Mothman had to go. So with this card, anytime a insect is summoned, or to your field or whatever, you get to special summon this. So right there, it's a guaranteed extender. It is level 3, which sucks, but what I do like about it is the fact that it's kind of like Ghost Ogre in a sense. Because with this, when your opponent activates an effect, you can tribute an insect, quick effect by the way, and then you can destroy the monster. It doesn't negate the effect, which kind of sucks. I wish it did. But I mean, insects having like an inherent, extender and that's also like a Ghost Ogre isn't bad at all. I think it's pretty solid. With Buggy Scout, I did play him for a few days, and I decided to drop him. I decided that Parallel XC was better in a sense for what I was wanting to do, because this way I don't lose all of my rank 4 extenders and stuff, or like level 4 extenders, and we can still get Utopia double out and such. But the main issue I have with Buggy Scout, there's two main issues. One, it's a level 3. Two, Buggy Scout locks you into insects while he's on the field. So essentially, I have to go for like an insect link too, which I didn't really like. I don't know. I didn't like that, how it just kind of I felt like it choked me out too early. So that's why I decided to drop the Buggy Scouts. So for Kaijus, I play 2 copies of Kumongus and 2 copies of Gardala. I just think that's like the best Kaiju ratio. I think, because I see some people playing like 3 Gardala or, like a Gamma Seal. I just think 5 Kaijus is too much. I think the only time when playing 3 Gardalas is kind of necessary is when you're playing against like Tri-Brigade and they just go for the Wind Bearer statue. That's kind of like the only time I think playing 3 is fine. 3 is good. But I just think 5 Kaijus are too much. They become too bricky. One thing I do want to quickly say about Kaijus is, since Resident Insects more loopable, there's times where I find myself grabbing Kaijus and using them as extenders, but I still think 4 Kaijus is enough. I just wanted to point that out real quick. Next up, 1 copy of Doomdozer. Doomdozer's just a really good extender. He's a nice beat stick. 2800, and your opponent has to mill a card if it does damage, so that's pretty cool. You banish 2 insects, summon. It's just a really good extender. And then for my last insect, I'm playing 1 copy of Aztekipede. Just 1 still. I don't know. I kind of liked the 3-1 ratio, like the one of this with the 3 Mothmans for quite some time. And I still just think right now at 1, like, it's still pretty good, just because it is, like, there's times where if I use Goki Pull, I want to grab this off of it instead of, because I need that effect monster, it being effect insect. So yeah, there's just some times where I feel like you kind of need it. So that's why I'm playing this at 1. It's basically mini Doomdozer. You banish an insect to draw a card. Not draw, summon it. So yeah. Now going up to the non-insects, I do play a couple. 3 copies of Pankrotop. I know some people are going to argue that you should be siding this, but I still just think it's too good. I mean, it's not going to be useful in every single matchup, but it's just it's a really good solid extender, outs problematic monsters. So yeah, that's really nice. And then like something, if you have like this, like a kaiju this and like a lightning storm, whatever, your opponent has like that spell negate, a monster like spell negate or something, you can just kaiju bounce back. You guys get the idea there. I just think it's better than everyone kind of says it is, really. So yeah, 3 copies of Parallax Seed still. I think this is honestly probably just the best extender because it's like it's an easy Utopia double. I kept this over Buggy Scout, and if you rewind to when I talked about what was it, Beetrooper bomb scale or scale bomber, I talked about Buggy Scout already, but I don't know, like I really did just hate the fact how I just got very choked out in the insects only off of him. So I decided to go back to this, and I think this is very much worth it. Like I love this. This build can do some pretty crazy stuff thanks to this being in here. So and other stuff, but yeah, pretty freaking cool. That's it for the monsters. Going on to the spells. Now, obviously, this is a Giant Ballpark deck. We gotta play 3 copies of Giant Ballpark. I can't believe I've been playing this for like, jeez, this came out late 2018. I started playing, I want to say around early 2019-ish. So yeah, and people still don't know what it does. Like you got it's crazy. Like people, my locals, just forget what it does, and I think it's hilarious. So yeah, you just basically you get this, you battle phase, you swarm the field, you bring a bunch of vanillas, you disrespect, dick slap people. You just win. You basically just make 3 vanillas, OTK, you win, give everyone the middle finger, and just disrespect because you killed them with vanillas. So yeah. Now, next up, 3 copies of Lightning Storm. I just don't. I don't think that there's essentially a budget variant to this. I mean, it did get reprinted in King's Court, so that's cool. Like it's you can pick up a playset for like a little under $100, I think. Maybe like $1 or 2 over. Last time I checked, these were like 33 a piece, I think, for the ultras. So yeah, it's more affordable now, guys. I mean that's cool. But you kind of have to have them evenly matched. I wouldn't say evenly matched is just kind of a budget variant to this, just because with evenly you lose out in your battle phase, and that can kind of be detrimental because of you sometimes you want, or a few times you'll need to gain the field advantage off ballpark. So yeah, the only time I really recommend evenly is when is like in a side deck and you're like playing against a back row heavy deck, because that's just kind of like an auto win button against them, leaving with one back row. So yeah. Next up, 3 copies of Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. Card's really good. I mean, it's Dark Hole and free extenders, or free extender for you, because you get that insect, and you can very easily pop your opponent's kaiju. So yeah. 1 copy of Terraforming fourth ballpark. One copy of Foolish Barrel. It's a fourth copy of Goki Pull. One copy of Gold Sark. It's a fifth copy of Goki Pull. Wish this card could, just come back to 2 or 3. Like, I feel like at this point it would be okay. Konami, please bring it back. Doubt it will happen though. But yeah, and then the last card, one copy Utopia Double, not Utopia Double, Double or Nothing, because Utopia Double in 2021, it still wins games. It cheeses. It's a win con. It's too good. It's too good not to run. I still Utopia Double people for game, and it's freaking hilarious. Like, people get salty over it. So that's it for the main. Going to the extra deck here. 2 copies of Insector Pycoflania. I know they're OCG supers, but if anyone's gonna get pissed about it, fuck off, cause I got tired of looking at comments. So fuck you. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, it's good. It's Insect Digusto Emerald. I love it, and thanks to Beetroopers, thanks to this new card right here, Beetrooper Armor Horn, we essentially can make this first and then go into this, and we can use this her effect to equip Resident Insect to this guy. So speaking of Armor Horn here, I played 2 of these guys. I tried out one for a few days and I bumped up 2 because there's a stupid board that you can make with where you basically end on Avermax and Invincible Atlas without using Ballpark and without, I didn't open Resident Insect for those. Like, it was stupid. It's possible to do it, guys. I just want y'all to know. So with this guy, he gives you an additional normal summon for an insect, and then you can banish 3 insects from your grave to draw one, but to special summon him. You kind of have to, with playing these and, having, this and Doom Dozer and such, you kind of have to really pay close attention and manage your resources of what you have in the graveyard with your insects and such. So, that's just, you got to pay more attention to, what insects you have in the graveyard and how much. Just want to throw it out there. Because I know some people are just kind of going to forget, but if you special summon this back from the grave off its own effect and it leaves the field, it gets banished. So yeah, just throwing it out there, guys. Next up, 1 copy of Salmon Great Almirage to help link off that Resident Insect if we open it. 1 copy of Link Spider if we open Vanilla and Parallax Seed. We can make this, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Or if our opponent Nibiru's us, we can make, take the Nibiru token. Utopia Double, if we have Parallax Seed, Utopia Double, attack with us for game. You guys get the idea. 1 copy of IP Masquerena, because IP good, too good. 1 copy of the Blackluster Soldier of Chaos here. The thing with him, he's not necessary, guys. You don't need him. If you have him, I recommend him. The reason why I still play him is just because, even though he's a card you could technically cut, there's times where I feel you kind of, where I get interrupted, or sometimes I just couldn't, before, I couldn't make Avermax, and I would make this, but thanks to this guy right here and the new Insect Beetrooper that we're going to talk about here in a second, this guy isn't as needed as much, but I still think it's nice to have. And for the new Beetrooper Invincible Atlas here, now this guy, he's really good, and he's honestly something Insects really needed. Insects had no modern day boss monsters, and we got one now, and oh my gosh, it's actually not bad. So Link 4, with this guy, your opponent can't target him with card effects, he can't be destroyed by card effects, so he's kind of like Avermax in a sense, except, without the honest effect, which, I mean, it's okay. But the thing is with him, though, um, you can tribute an insect you control. He gains 2,000 attack. Now, if you do that, he does lose his invincibility with can't be not being able to be targeted with card effects or destroyed by card effects. You do lose that, or you can tribute a insect you control, a special summon a Beetrooper from deck. So if you want to essentially get a Scale Bomber and kind of have like a Ghost Ogre, that's cool too. But the thing I like is the fact that he can boost himself up to 5K and really just push for closing games. That's really nice. I think he's very much a nice addition to the deck and was something that was really needed. And then lastly, one copy Avermax, because IP into Avermax just opponents. A lot of times I still have opponents that just scoop against it because they can't do anything. So yeah, that's it for the links. Now we're going to the XCs. Talked about this a whole lot. The Utopia package here, Utopia Double, and Lightning. Really good stuff. Guess I'll briefly cover it real quick. You can do some really cool stuff by playing all three. Let's say you open the Double or Nothing. Cool. You can make Utopia Double and then this over it, and you still have your Utopia here. This isn't sitting in your grave or in your extra deck as a useless card, so that's cool. And a lot of times when you try to do that, people will shotgun the Ash on this still. It's freaking hilarious, and I'm just like, I'm not even using the effect. Thanks for telling me you have a free Ash. Thanks for the free info. You told me you have an Ash. Like, great job, guys. It's just funny because this scares a lot of people still. But yeah, there's you get some really cool things you can get here by playing all three. And you can I feel like playing all three, you get to fully utilize these cards the best as of playing just like these two. So yeah, and Lightning just still has situations where it's just like it's very needed, I feel. So yeah. And then one copy of Abyss Dweller, because Abyss Dweller is it's really good. It's a nice floodgate for them graveyard decks they can't play. My last XC, one copy of Traptrick Alamaris here, just kind of helps to loop Resonant Insect, and if we want to go into a Link 2, our Insect Link 2s, it's there for that, so that's really nice. I cut Baguska, excuse me, and the reason why I cut Baguska is I felt with Invincible Atlas out now, just the deck itself, I feel like it doesn't really need Baguska as much because we're able to do more in a sense. We're able to go into a stronger extra deck play, and I feel like Baguska Pass was just kind of like that option where it's like if all else fails, and I feel like with this variant as of right now, it's not used as often, so I just felt like Baguska could be cut essentially. So guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Go ahead and harpoon that subscribe button, really helps the channel out, and harpoon that like button if y'all really liked it, and comment any comments y'all have, any questions. I'll pretty much try and answer them best I can. This deck can do some really stupid stuff. As I said, there was in testing a couple times where I was able to make Avermax using IP and Invincible Atlas turn 1, going second, where I cleared the board and made them, and I didn't open Ballpark. So that's pretty crazy right there. But yeah, just kind of exceeded my potential, my expectation overall, and I think that this deck is just going to get better and better as we get more Beetroopers and just generic insect support. So, and with that, guys, I will see y'all in the next